It's great to be with all of you today. Many of you, this is the first time we get to see each other because it's your first time at an event, a Usana event. So I thought I'll show you something that most people don't get to see or haven't seen. By way of introduction, I've been with Usana 28 years. I helped Dr. Wentz start Usana. Many years ago, we were traveling in Switzerland, and my job at the time was to create all of the videos and media materials for Usana. While I was traveling in Switzerland, I saw in a field a helicopter. I asked Dr. Wentz if I could go speak to the pilot of the helicopter. I went and spoke to the pilot and convinced him to let us take the door off the helicopter and fly up into the mountains of the Swiss Alps. We have a video. Go ahead and roll this video. Wow. Here's a picture. I'm the person hanging out the helicopter with the camera, filming this footage, and that's our founder, Dr. Myron Wentz, standing on the top of that mountain. Wow. We used this footage over and over and over for many years in Usana as we were talking about the vision of Dr. Myron Wentz. But what most of you don't understand is you see how pointed the mountain is? We couldn't land a helicopter on top of the mountain. So what we did was we put the front blade forks of the helicopter just right on the tip of the mountain so Dr. Wentz could climb out of the helicopter, and then we flew back. Well, most people don't know what happened that day, but go ahead and show the second video. So when we pulled back, it knocked Dr. Wentz over. And there's the founder of Usana almost falling off the mountain that day. I almost killed Dr. Wentz. But I'm still here today. And we're still very close friends. Yes. I want to show you a picture. And it's this. This picture is where I grew up. This is looking out my bedroom window. And if you look right here, this tree, right here, this tree, one day I was sitting by that tree with my mother. My mother at the time was 90 years old. Oh. As we were sitting there talking by that tree, my brother was down by the water. And he said to me, "Kevin, there's a bear behind you." A grizzly bear. So here I am, sitting with my 90-year-old mother, and there's a bear as close as me to the end of the stage, a bear sitting there. So what was I going to do? The number one thing you shouldn't do when you see a bear is run. The bear thinks you're food, and he'll come after you and try and eat you. Running is bad. The second thing you can do is curl up in a ball and play dead. Lay on the ground.
Play dead.
A bear will not be interested in you, and he will just, with his paws, move you around and lose interest. The third thing you can do is you can confront the bear. So, those are my options. 90-year-old mother, me sitting there, a grizzly bear, right behind where we're at in that picture. Will you please keep the slides on the screen? And as I thought about what to do, as I was sitting by that tree, I thought, I can't run. My mom, at 90, moves about this fast. So what did I do? I stood really tall with my arms up in the air, and I said, "Hey bear! Hey bear! Hey bear!" The bear wasn't very impressed. He stood up and he walked away. Now, what does me having an experience with a bear have to do with us here in Korea today? Each one of us will face a bear. And we have a choice to make. We can run. We can lay down and play dead. Or we can stand real tall. In today's world, and what we're asking you to do here at Usana is to stand tall. We're asking you to do things that aren't easy. To confront the bear. Someone who has confronted the bear in a big way is Dr. Myron Wentz. He had a problem, and he stood up and confronted it, which now is affecting all of our lives. This is a picture of me and my young family in 1991. Yes, that's me with the long curly hair. I now have 4 children, and I have 6 grandchildren. We had been then in Montana visiting my mother and father. At the time, I lived in Salt Lake City, Utah. And this picture was taken early in the morning before we were getting ready to get in our car and drive back to Utah. The reason I show you this picture is because 2 weeks later, I pulled up to this building, Gull Laboratories. And I had an appointment to meet with a Dr. Myron Wentz. I walked down the halls of the laboratory. There were men in white lab coats. I'd never seen anything like that. In the laboratories, they were conducting tests on human cells. And at Gull Laboratories, they had learned how to keep cells, human cells, strong and healthy for decades. Wow. What an experience that was for a young man with long hair, meeting Dr. Wentz. But when I sat with him that very first time, I knew I could feel something was different about his message. Because here I was interviewing a person who was arguably at the time the world's foremost expert on the human cell. Dr. Wentz, as he thought about Usana, it all started with one experience. He was getting very sick himself. He'd worked so hard at Go Laboratories. Their test kits were being used in hospitals all over the world. And so he went to a pharmacist, one of his friends. And he asked the pharmacist for some vitamins because he wasn't feeling well. The pharmacist brought in a bottle of vitamins. Dr. Wentz looked at the label and he said, "I can't believe what they're feeding humans. If we fed the cells in our laboratory the same things they're trying to feed humans in these vitamins, we would have been out of business years ago." That was the beginning of Usana. He knew that he had to create a product for himself, for the cells of his body to be healthy and strong. I love this picture that's coming up. This is a cover of a magazine from 1997 showing the top network marketing companies. And it shows their founders or CEOs on the cover. There's something very different in this picture. You see down in the corner there's a man in a white lab coat, a scientist. The rest of the people are in their business suits. They're marketers. This picture for me sums up the entire Usana difference. Our founder is a scientist. We're founded on the scientific principles of keeping the cells of our body healthy and strong. And it made sense to me then that if the world's foremost expert in the human cell was taking something for himself, that I should probably take those same products. And that's Usana. As we think about Usana, by the way, this is a picture of the first Usana products in the corner. It's what they look like. Those are all the products we have for the world. In fact, Dr. Wentz created the essentials at that time based upon how he provided nutrients to the cells in the test tube, which was providing all of the essential minerals and nutrients for human life. That's why Usana is different. That's what we're all about. One day, we were at the office and Dr. Wentz was traveling in Europe. He was driving a car that was a convertible. While he was stopped at a stop sign, a man ran up to his car and stole all of his bags out of his back seat. His driver's license, his passport, his money, everything was stolen. He called Usana. The first words out of his mouth were, "He got my essentials." That's where he placed the value over anything else. I've heard him say this many times. If you knew what I know about the human cell, you would not go a day without bathing your cells in the nutrients they need. That's Usana. If you knew what Dr. Wentz knows about the human cell, you would not go a day without bathing your cells in the nutrients they need to be healthy. Oh, there's one other thing. I'm going to go back to this picture. One other thing that bothers me about this picture, and it's this. I want to stop sending plastic bottles around the world. I have a goal for us to use recyclable materials in our product offering, and so we can be better for the environment as we're helping create the healthiest family on earth. So we have a project underway right now at Usana where we're coming up with different ways to package our products that are more current than a plastic bottle, that are more environmentally friendly, and also creating ways to take nutritional supplements other than just taking pills. That's coming, and it'll come to Korea. I'm excited for that. Usana has become the cellular nutrition company for a reason. If the cells of your body are healthy, you are healthy. And when your cells break down, that's when we are not healthy. So I invite you to not let a day go by where you're not putting the proper nutrition in your body for the cells of your body. We have relationships with agencies all over the world. Here's a picture of some of the global governmental agencies that we interact with, that we work with, that we have close relationships with. The reason why, and most people don't understand, when we come into a country like Korea with Usana products, because of the potency of the product, in most cases we have to register just like a pharmaceutical product has to register. Most nutritional supplements are registered as foods because they have such small amounts in their products. Somebody said to me just last week, I was in New York in the United States, and they said, Kevin, how do you answer the question that Usana's products are expensive? Because we have a hard time talking to people about how expensive the products are. And I challenge them to do this. I said, go to your local store that sells vitamins. Take a bottle of Usana vitamins and look at the quantity of the ingredients that are on the deck. And try and buy enough products that contain the same nutrients that are in a bottle of Usana vitamins, and it is almost 4 times the price. See, it comes down to a value proposition. And how much are you willing to spend on your health? See, they are not expensive. When you comparatively look at what people are buying, the value is there. And it's there for a reason. And part of it is because of our involvement with these governmental agencies. We spend millions of dollars to make sure that the quality we guarantee is in every bottle that you take, that you recommend, and that you sell to your customers. Another thing that is very different, and I would invite you to ask people this question. When someone is talking about vitamins, ask them this: who makes the vitamins you take? Because you know what? I guarantee you, almost everybody will not be able to answer that question. But yet, it is so important because you're putting something in your body that you're expecting to have a positive result for your health. Don't you think it's important who makes it and the processes that they go through to make it? That is the most important aspect, and most people take nutritional products and have no idea who makes those products. We also have scientific partnerships with universities around the world. We are continuing and starting new partnerships with universities. These partnerships are so important. We just completed a study with Beijing University on diabetes and weight control. We've done several double-blind studies and continued studies through universities to prove the efficacy, to prove how well our products actually work, so that we can make claims as we talk about our products. The foundation is solid and the same and will go on for generations. Dr. Wentz has created a company that is built of scientists, that is built on science and the scientific evolution of the company. As the CEO of Usana, I'm here to tell you in Korea, we will not waver from being a science-based nutritional company. For decades to come, we will not waver. Yes, you can clap for that. This is the Usana difference. And you need to understand that we aren't just like another bottle of vitamins that you buy on the shelf. There's so much more. And we're committed to that quality. Something else I'm committed to for Korea is to bring more products and a more diverse range of products to here to Korea for you to distribute and to sell in the marketplace. Because we are creating the healthiest family on earth. And we're creating the healthiest family in Korea and all around the globe. There are millions of people who enjoy the benefits of our products. That's why our Usana brand keeps growing and growing. And when Sherman's threw out the challenge for the growth, and I see everybody holding up 5 fingers for 50%, the most important thing to remember is how many people's lives we are impacting. It's not sales. It's not anything other than, are we making a positive difference in the lives of others? As we empower each other to be healthy, to live a healthy lifestyle, but also empower others if they want to pursue an independent business. There's nothing greater than empowering the individual, and that's a huge piece of who we are. David spoke earlier about our values. Values are your North Star. Every decision you make should be based upon your values. We show you Usana values because these values might not be exactly the same as your values, but they should be congruent with your values. Hopefully you can help make these values part of your culture as we grow. And for the new people here for the first time, learn these values, because that's part of the organization that you've joined and who we're all about. A major value is community. Community is so important. As this is our world headquarters in Salt Lake City. I'm going to go back up here and show you this. This is about 500,000 square feet, located in Utah. I want you to notice all the solar panels that are on the roof. I also want you to notice the landscaping. We save millions of gallons of water in how we've landscaped the building. We are concerned about and actively engaged in, like I said earlier, creating the healthiest family on earth. But if you look, just see where all these cars are parked. There's a building just above that. That is a building Usana purchased. That is where our new foods plant is located. Yes. We're going to, by having our own ability to manufacture our powdered drinks and